Hello, everybody. We are those guys you hate.
Welcome to the show that encourages you to be your best self by not being like us.
My brother and I hopelessly search for nuance as we wade through wacky segments and crazy conversations.
If you can withstand the insanity, you might actually learn something.
Tyler, what topics are you going to be discussing this week, pal?
Ryan, on this week's show, it is a very rare Tyler's don't kill, but when you do, I'm here to help you, ladies and gentlemen, and we can solve world hunger. Ryan, I just need to borrow about $265 billion.
Wait, hold on. I'm not wearing the right pants for this.
More on that later. What about you, Ryan?
This week, the return of a fan favorite that nobody liked, and I'm going to tell you why your favorite show doesn't matter on the granddaddy of all fan theories. So let's talk about it. How do you know when you're enlightened, Tyler? What does that word mean? How do I get there? What's the metrics?
I think the best way to determine if you are or not, or at least reaching that point, is first of all, critical thinking. And by critical thinking, I don't just mean of others, but being able to take a step outside of yourself and acknowledge, am I wrong right now? We talked about this last week. I think the power of am I wrong is very, very powerful.
But can't anybody do that? Can't anybody think about
not.
things? Well,
look at the world, Ryan.
I'm not talking about habits, Tyler. I'm talking about ability. Can't anybody stop and say, hey, am I wrong right now? Maybe the way that I'm perceiving this is wrong. I think what you're saying is living in a perpetual state of that. Do we have an understanding of what enlightenment, nirvana, whatever it is that you call it? What did they call it in Catholicism?
Bleeping little boys, Ryan.
Finding one inside of oneself. Sure.
Or in another.
Is there, because here's the thing. I need some sort of an equation. I need some sort of a rigid structure that I can follow to achieve my goal, which is total, absolute letting goism.
Well,
how do I do that?
That's speaking right now of needing those quantifiable.
Hold on, let me write this down. Go ahead.
Quantifiable measurements is the ego speaking, and in order to reach enlightenment, you must get over your ego, which is the very thing asking that question.
So 25 push-ups, yoga. What do you need from me? Just tell me what I'll check these boxes off, and I'll have this done by Tuesday.
Give me a quick downward dog and 3 amens, and you're good to go.
Do I need rosary beads? What do I need?
Couldn't hurt.
I'm wondering because you and I have talked on this show forever ago, back when we let our kook flags fly, Tyler.
Yeah.
And I discussed how in my life, the moment of something happening and me being aware of my reaction to it was getting closer and closer. At what point are you just living in that? I don't want to go so far that I alienate people where they're like, I don't want to hear about this. This means nothing to me. I don't want to spend my time on this.
I think we may have reached that point already.
So
sorry, ladies and gentlemen.
So any thoughts of that? It doesn't interest the regular, the standard people.
I think the people that are into that sort of thing and understand the idea of what it is that we're talking about are probably nodding and they're like, oh yeah, this is really interesting. So the people who don't really know like any other subject, people who aren't into it and don't know the lingo are like, what the fuck are you guys talking about right now?
Does the average person believe that enlightenment, do you believe enlightenment exists?
Absolutely.
Does the average person believe that?
I have no idea.
Okay, well, we need to call some average people. My name is Ryan.
And my name is Tyler.
And we are those guys you hate. Good Saturday afternoon, my minions, and welcome to another Those Guys You Hate. Tyler, the F are you, brother? What's going on?
I'm okay, buddy. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, brother. Welcome to another episode scrolling upwards, 169. Chill, Tyler. This is a family show. 169.
Yeah.
We've been doing this for so long, Tyler, that there have been things that have just been left in the dust. 3 years plus, we've created things and we've forgotten things, and there's been things that we've gotten stuck on and then has just disappeared. And I want to start bringing some of those things back, Tyler.
Okay. Sure.
We put effort in. Now here's the thing. I just think at one point, I was just more creative than I am now, and I can prove it with this. I don't like to overpromise, but just listen how professional quality.
Oh boy.
What?
I know. Go ahead.
What's the deal?
Go ahead. No,
I'm not
nothing.
setting you up for
Nothing.
anything.
Uh-huh.
You're doing that thing with your eyebrows.
The audience up. You're setting the audience up.
It's near perfect. It's near perfect.
They're on to you. They know what you're doing.
Tell me what you think.
Uh-huh.
Talking morality with Tyler Menendez. Talking morality with Tyler Menendez. What will he say? What will he do? Even when he tells us, will we know that it is true? Talking morality with Tyler Menendez. This is just a test to prove his psyche's in a mess right now. Talking morality with Tyler Menendez.
That's a classic right there.
Oh my goodness. How did this not win some sort of award? An Emmy? A Tony?
I don't think they get into the true tippy-whippy top of the upper class of entertainment. They're always doing those boring-ass movies and whatnot.
And that's the problem, is that you make something that is so good that the average listener doesn't understand it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's quite the bum.
Yeah.
Tyler, talking morality is where I've had something happen in my life and I want to handle it appropriately. I want to be enlightened, damn it. And I want for that to ruminate out, and I want for people to notice. So this is what's happened to me. I have been going to the same barber for years. Like, do you have anybody in your life who's like a worker or something like that you've become close with just over time? Well, you're a psychiatrist, right? Your therapist?
Yeah, that's a perfect example. My psychiatrist would be my answer.
You got to be breaking some sort of Hippocratic oath there, right? Like hanging out with your therapist?
Nah, I don't know how that works. I'd prefer not to look into it.
I'm going to call somebody. Now, here's the problem. I don't know why, and I don't mean this is in any way to criticize this man, whom I genuinely love. We have deep conversations. There's no small talk. I know about his family. It's been years. The quality of the haircut hasn't been as great lately. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, if you love him and respect him that much, you should be able to tell him. And therein lies the rub.
I went to a different barber, Tyler.
Whoa.
I went to a different barber.
So instead of having an open, honest, meaningful conversation with your barber.
And say what?
You cheated on him.
What do you say?
Hey, the quality of my haircut. It's shite. No, actually, but you could say, hey, you've been doing it incorrectly the last couple of times.
Well, here's the thing. That is so hard for me, especially back when I was a kid. Like, I would just let the barber cut my hair however you want. Like,
sure.
You know what I mean? You this is your occupation. You know my head better than I do. I've only had it for 30 years. No big deal. Here's the thing.
I like how you said when you were a kid and then made yourself a 30-year-old.
Do you not know that I still see myself as a kid, Tyler?
I do. It's just weird that you use the number 30.
Okay, I'm sorry. 32.
That's much better.
So there's a guy at my gym who always has a great haircut. So I went to him and I asked him, went to the place, got an incredible haircut. Anderson, you are an artisan, my friend. Brava. Do I break up with my barber? Do I tell him? Do I never show up?
You've already gone somewhere else. You've already moved on to the hot, new, young thing.
Man, in Anderson's, if you're listening to this, buddy, even though you don't speak English, you got some junk in your trunk. Do I ghost my barber, or do I do the right thing and let him know, hey, I love you, go into a different place? I could even lie about it. I could say, hey, I moved, it's further away, but I don't want to do that. So what do I do here?
I mean, obviously, the moral and just thing is to let him know and be honest with him.
Is it?
Of course.
Why?
Because you're offering.
I employ you.
That's not necessarily true.
You are my property.
Very not true.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I'm just covering up for my pain. I'm sorry about that.
Oh, so you went slavery in order to cover up for your pain. Owning people. Interesting.
Clean out watch your desk, Marcos.
Oh, you gave him a desk? That's
Yeah,
really
I gave him
nice
a desk.
of you.
Maybe that's why he's not cutting my hair so well. He's sitting down the whole time.
He's living the good life now. Jeez, I knew giving you that bed was too much.
He's got carpal tunnel. It's a whole deal. So what would you, okay, so the right thing to do is to let him know, hey, I love you. Just a heads up. I'm not coming back there anymore. You're right. That's why I'm asking, I'm sure. Because in my heart, I know that's probably the right thing to do. Would you do it?
It's hard to say.
Yeah. I don't want to do it.
No, of course not. It's
the idea of, I can't imagine making myself do it.
Yeah. At one point in my life, when I was much younger, I would have thought, man, there's no way I could look the person I'm dating in the eye and tell them, hey, this just isn't working out for me anymore.
Don't do that.
The chemistry isn't here or whatever the reasoning is. And yet every time I've been in any form of romantic relationship over the last however many years, I have done that. So all it does is take that one time to do it. And you're
just breaking up with people for fun. You're like, I really like those last couple people, but damn it, bro, I'm so good at this.
Yeah, I'm really getting some practice in.
And Tyler, and finally.
So are you going to do it? You didn't even give any closure.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that.
Okay.
It's just, content.
Ghost him.
No, I'm not going to play this all over again. Just kidding. Also, just one quick last little morality nugget.
Okay.
What do you do when somebody shows you a picture that they took? And the filter on them is so strong, it doesn't even look like the same person.
I can't stand that.
And they're holding it there, and we're all going to pretend like this is you.
Yeah.
Do you spit in their face and push them over, or do that Karate Kid thing where you sweep their legs out from under them? Which is it? Talking morality with Tyler the Ninja.
Those are my only two options.
It's the only exits. Yeah, I know. They built this highway is faulty. We only have two exits.
Well, I find spitting to be one of the most disrespectful things you can do to somebody, so that I wouldn't do. So I'd have to go sweep the leg.
Wrong, Tyler. Both of them. You spit in their eyes like that dinosaur from Jurassic Park with Newman, and then while they're and that.
It's hard to describe a movie when you use their character name from a different show. yeah, we got it.
He's holding shaving cream and you swipe his legs out from under him.
Yeah.
Talking morality with Tyler Menendez.
I will tell you right now, that frustrates me so much to a degree.
When somebody sweep kicks you?
I don't like that.
Please,
Stop doing that in the street.
Dad.
No, I get so, genuinely, I get so annoyed by that it makes me want to respond in a mean, sarcastic manner.
Sure.
And it's not healthy.
I don't feel that. What do you think that is? I love it. We're getting down to our deep, deep trouble.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. You know what it is? It's what I believe it to be is my anger at the entire system. That
Genre.
is, we cannot be ourselves.
Yeah.
We have to put ourselves on some kind of pedestal. And it's like, I'm standing right next to you while you're showing me this photo. I'm looking at you.
Yeah. Who is this? What are you showing me right now?
And you'll, like, I'm on the dating apps again. You'll see pictures.
Dabs.
You'll see, correct.
Yeah.
You'll see pictures on there where it doesn't even look like a human face anymore.
Yeah.
It's the light filter has been turned up so much you look like a being of light.
Oh, you've never fucked a Picasso, Tyler? It'll give you a blue period.
It's so crazy to me that people can look at those photos like that and be like, this is what I want representing me.
Well, forget that. I'm talking about somebody who's like, hey, look at this. And I'm like, who the fuck is that? Are we gonna pretend like that's you? What the shit?
A side-by-side comparison.
What the who?
Yeah.
You're just gonna show this to me and not say shit?
Which one's the before and which one's the after?
We love you, distorted people.
Yeah.
Depression index. The distorted people.
I do love you, but knock it the fuck off.
Your face is much less distorted than that. What the depression index is a machine that's actually made of distorted faces, and we crank it up to let you know how down we are. I had somebody very recently ask me, I love your show. Is the depression index, is it real? Are you guys really spinning things? And the answer to you, Jerry, is yes.
Obviously.
Absolutely. Like what else?
What do you think we're doing?
I mean, come on. What do you think this is? Theater of the mind? Tyler, how has your mental health... Well, you've already told us, but tell us some more. How's your mental health been?
Not great, Ryan.
What's going on, man?
I don't know.
You've been...
I don't know. I'm just
your depression has been really bumming me out. Yeah. It feels kind of selfish, if I could be honest.
At least I relegated pretty much to my room, thank God.
And that selfie doesn't even look like you.
I know. I got to turn the light filter up more.
When did you get puppy dog ears?
It's been a bad week, and I
part of it.
I am. It's so strange because I am doing these things that I know affect my negative health mentally, like the way that I eat. I don't think there's any addiction in my life that is stronger than food for me, and it's like I go and eat the wrong thing, and it's like I'm watching myself do it.
Yeah.
Where I'm like saying to myself, like, walk away. Like, don't do this. Please walk away. And man, I'm gonna start crying right now. Walk away from this. For the love of God, please walk away from this. And I just do it anyway. And it's really terrible.
Well, I'm interested in breaking that down, and I appreciate you being so vulnerable here.
Yeah.
I think this is very interesting, and I think that a lot of people, this registers with them. I have that exact same thing, and I've talked to you about it a million times with drinking. Drinking, where I'm like, don't do this, bro. Please. And then slowly over time, it morphs where it's like, all right, just a little bit. We'll do one.
Yeah.
And it slowly morphs, and then I'm drinking, and in the middle of being drunk, I'm like, this is the same fucking thing, bro. We had this epiphany the last week and a half. So let me ask you something. When you wake up in the morning, it starts there, right? Because you're not having breakfast, you get your coffee, and that's the very beginning point of it. Are you thinking about it at all in the morning?
I always do, and it's an optical illusion, so to speak, where I wake up, and that's when I am personally at peak like enthusiasm, and I do wake up almost every single day, and I meditate right out of bed, which is a success right then and there.
That's a big one.
And then I get up and I go through the motion, and the way that my energy just plummets almost like within an hour of waking up. And when I woke up, I was like, all right, I'm going to do it today. And I always set the intention every morning, I'm going to eat healthier today. And then by the time I reach like 3 hours into my day, I am just...
You're starving.
I am, yeah, but not just that. It's just I'm wanting for all the unhealthy stuff. You know?
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this. Do you just want to vent about this, or can I issue a suggestion?
No, we're having a conversation. Okay. You can issue a suggestion.
Okay,
sure.
and I think asking people that is very helpful, because
for sure,
I'm a fixer, and I try to fix things that people don't want fixed. But my suggestion to you is, instead of just waking up every morning and thinking, hey, today I'm going to do something different, if you set yourself up at night when you have the cognitive awareness of, man, today we did this again, if you make it really easy to do in the morning, put a protein bar next to your bed. Even if you eat that protein bar in the morning, now your metabolism is going. Now you got stuff going on. I think, and I could be wrong, maybe it's more psychological than it is physical, but I think that would help you out a lot. Just eat a little something on your way to go get coffee. Put a little something in your stomach. The fuller you are, the less likely you are to eat something bad.
Yeah, no, and that's a great idea. I just had such a unhealthy connection with food, especially recently. Like I can't remember the last time it's hit me this bad, to the point where, and boy, is this just a dead drop into a shameful admission on this week's Depression Index, but where I have this like deep-seated fear of going to the grocery store, where I like don't want to go get food.
Yeah.
Like I'm scared of it.
Do you mean you don't want to go get like healthier food to keep here in the house?
Yeah, or just any food, where I'm scared of food in general, and then the time of the day just arrives where I'm starving and my body's like, bro, go eat something.
And driving through a fast food thing is so much easier than going into Publix and putting all the shit in, and then you got to bump into people and you whatever. And I think that's it right there. I think what you just said, your relationship with food, the idea that you're afraid of food, I believe is almost like the beginning point of this that keeps forming the same pattern.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
It's very interesting.
Yeah.
I'm super interested in this because I'm on the outside looking in. If you tell me about drinking or other substances, I'm in there with you. With this, I don't feel this, so I can see it almost clinically. You know what I mean? Like, my relationship with food is, I use it for fuel. Like I find food to be an inconvenience, not unlike sleep.
I genuinely wish I thought like that.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. But is that just a thought you're born with, or is that something that you build up over time?
No. It's something. Do you mean the way I think about it, or the way you think about it?
Both of us.
Both. Yeah. No, it's something you build up over time. Mine very specifically, and I don't even know what from, but mine obviously comes from trauma. Like, whatever it is, eating was probably the very first addiction I ever accumulated as a kid. And so I don't know the specific moment of when it hit, but to look at my relationship with food now, it is very clearly that is trauma.
Yeah.
Deep trauma. And that's the way it is exhibiting itself, which, in all fairness, 5 years ago, it would have been no food and just massive amounts of cocaine. So I think that
Why you got cocaine?
I think I've upgraded a little bit in my responses, but I would be lying if I said that I wasn't super challenged by it right now. But I guess it's all part of the process.
You're aware of it. We're here. We support you. The Haitian Army is standing fully erect saluting you.
Stop offering me that cake. I'm going to eat it.
Is that a ho-ho? You know what I love? Man, this is probably an inappropriate time.
Go ahead.
A zebra cake. A Little Debbie zebra cake made entirely of
Chemicals
and raccoon anuses. And it is the greatest thing that you've ever had. Little Debbie, send me stuff.
You know which one is my
I'll
favorite?
get diabetes for you and I'll wear that little hat.
You know which one is my favorite?
Twinkie.
No.
Are we talking about sexual partners or?
No.
What?
No. Well, actually, it's funny that you say that. Those coconut flavors, I think they're called snowballs.
So, Tyler, you get out of the gutter.
I love them.
Too much coconut
I
for me.
love them. The consistency is perfect. It's like a big old marshmallow.
Right. Tyler, you're going to conquer this. After this, we're going to go out and celebrate with some ho-hos and some ding-dongs. I'm putting ding-dongs in my mouth. All right.
And
so spin that wheel, Tyler. Sorry. Hey, I love you, man.
I love you too.
You're going to get
Thank
through
you.
this, truly.
This week, I'm going to go ahead and say I'm at an 8.
Spin it, fucker.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Weird way to support me.
Dude, I'm like Yosemite Sam in these meetings. I don't know what's going on.
A bit, spin it, fucker.
Let's do it, bitch. Oh, man. Tyler, we really are the opposite signs
That
of
was Porky the Pig that I did. You said Yosemite Sam.
I don't want to kick you off.
Nah,
you got a lot going on, man.
It's like a food, pork, I was just excited.
That's all, folks.
Yeah.
I'm the opposite side of the coin of you this week. Actually, I'm giving myself on Depression Index the rare congratulations.
Wow! Congratulations!
Awesome.
I did something this week that I have been working on forever, and this is totally true. I want to make sure that I go out of shtick here. And I know this is running long, so I'll make it quick because it's just one thing. There's been so many times in my life where I have had gossip, where I've had something bad to say about somebody, where I've had something that I am just trying to disconnect from because I know, talk about habits, talking shit about people. How interesting is it to gossip about people? Why is it so fucking interesting? It makes you look better when people are bad? What is it?
It's primarily a high.
Speaking of which, broke up, did you hear?
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I'm not the only one bad at relationships, huh?
I love It's too bad.
Well, she's still hanging out with
Oh, good.
I'll tell you all the dirt
I
later.
can't wait. We'll have to remove all this.
We're bleeping then.
Yeah.
Like Yosemite Sam, bleep, 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 bleep.
Yep.
I have had so many times in my life where I have these things loaded up and I'm like, I don't want to talk shit, but I know I shouldn't say this, but, or hey, I'm trying not to talk shit anymore, but, and then I say it. 2 separate times this week, I had the thought, didn't say it. Didn't say it. And
awesome.
Maybe this sounds like something like you would teach a toddler in preschool. Maybe this does not sound like a big deal to people, but for me, this is this trajectory that I want to be on, and these little victories deserve.
Wow! Congratulations!
Agreed on that.
So that's what we're doing. I'm proud of what I'm trying to be. So
It's all baby steps, man. It's all baby. Sometimes you'll take one giant step, but primarily all these little steps are tiny little steps that we take every single day.
And it's this thing where remember back when you're like, damn it, I knew I shouldn't have said that. I don't know why I said that. And the last little thing I'm going to throw in here is when you talk bad about someone, it 100% of the time makes you look bad.
Yeah.
This week, I am at a manic 4. Spin it, bitch. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I thought when you said manic, I thought you were going to 1, 2, 3, 4.
Holy shit, the wheel came off of the hinge.
It rolled into the audience and
my
killed
God.
5 people.
We have enough to build a new machine. Let's review the machine on Weekly Book Nook.
Everybody gets their own machine.
Yeah, look under your chairs. It's your dead parents. Tyler, what is Weekly Book Nook? It's weird. I'm fluctuating hard.
Weekly Book Nook is when we talk about our dead parents, and
Sure.
and on a weekly basis we
I would stand on the chair to get away from them, right?
talk about our anything we're using that week, any product we're using, any show we're watching, any
Very rarely a book.
game we're playing. We're very rarely about a book, and it's really not all that weekly.
Truth be told, we don't even have a nook in here.
No
Ouch.
nook. I mean, the nook would be the bathroom.
We do have crannies, though.
Crannies?
Nooks and crannies. Like,
yeah, that one went over my
Jackass
head.
Tom.
Edward, my N-word.
I'm done. I'm done.
Do you want me to go first?
Yes, please.
I'll go first.
Me?
Do you want me to go first? I'll go first.
You go first.
I'll go first. Ryan, for this week's Weekly Book Nook, I have to talk about the new Legend of Zelda game that just dropped.
What's Legend of Zelda?
Legend of Zelda.
How many Zeldas have there been?
Like dozens.
Zelda?
Dozens.
Zelda, kick-ass character, Link. Cool name. Sorry, I'm not sure what happened there. I was supporting you, but with the most benign, stupid shit ever, and I apologize for that.
I do appreciate your want to get into the conversation with the most limited amount of information possible.
Love that color of green.
It's
the green and the yellow, beautiful.
It's like you just brought up the only two names you know in the series and just said things about them.
He's got a sword, doesn't he, Tyler? Tell me about that.
He does have a sword.
How about that?
It's called Tears of the Kingdom. And man, does it bring me back to my childhood.
Tears of the Kingdom, okay.
It's a beautiful game where they have perfected the gameplay just in terms of how everything works together, how fluid the controls are, and how great the story is. It's one of those experiences where you start playing and the hours just disappear,
Which is a real problem.
It is a real problem.
Now, when you say...
When I was 15, it wasn't. It is now.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of things that need to be done out here. When you say it brings you back to your childhood, are you talking about Legend of Zelda Nintendo Edition? Or are you talking about, this is what I think you're talking about, the Ocarina of Time. Do I have that right?
Well, why do I know that? When I said it, because we played video games when we were kids.
My own ass, Tyler.
What I mean by it brings me back is I don't even mean specifically Legend of Zelda, although yes, I just mean in the way that I'm playing the game where I play it and it brings back those feelings of when I was younger and you're just like, got like super lost in a video game, and just from the love of that game specifically, it's just fantastic.
Yeah.
So I've really been loving it. I give it a 9 out of 10, Ryan.
Really?
A 9 out of 10.
A 9 out of 10?
Yeah. You'd get a 10 out of 10, but they're raising prices on video games now, and they've all gone up to $70, and it's fucking bullshit.
And pointy ears look stupid.
It's bullshit.
So, Tyler, you're doing a video game.
Elf.
What?
I'd fuck an elf, Ryan.
I'd fucking elf Ryan. I don't know that they're making those. Tyler, this week on Weekly Book Nook, I'm going to do mine a little differently. Blue Diamond Honey Roasted Almonds, Tyler. Fucking incredible.
Really?
Incredible.
Okay.
They're delicious. The problem, they're pretending like they're healthy. There's no chance. That shit is candy, man.
Why, is it salty or?
Honey roasted. Have you never, like honey roasted Cheerios?
Sure.
Or honey nut Cheerios?
Whatever. Depends on what you're doing
to
them.
No, we're better than that.
That's true.
We're better than that.
True.
Blue Diamond Honey Roasted Almonds. Once you pop, the fun don't stop. I'm pretty sure that's Blue Diamond Almonds. I may have that incorrect.
Once you pop, you get diabetes.
Sure. Delicious.
And what would you give that?
Oh, well, the problem is I was buying regular almonds because they're super healthy for you and they have those like fats that you need. I bought these on accident and I cannot stop eating them. They're like bad for you. So I'm going to give you like 7 out of 10. Deliciousness high, health low.
Gotcha. And they push them off as healthy?
No,
okay,
they don't.
good.
It's my own stupidity.
Good.
Tyler, how long are we? I've got a bartender's confessions. I want to tell you about this fan theory. I know you've got don't kill, but when you do, where are we at here?
We're pulling up on 40 minutes.
Okay, I'll give you a quick little bartender confession.
Bartender confessions.
Now, I've been working in a bar for 20 plus years. You probably don't know this, but when people get drunk, weird shit happens. Now, what's good about this bartender confession is it's not a trauma dump. It's just a funny little whimsical story that'll make you laugh, okay?
Oh, thank God.
Yeah. Enough of the old people being kidnapped and just,
What?
Remember when we wouldn't let that guy out because he was drunk? The old man, help me!
Did he ever come back in?
No!
Nah.
I will never see that man again.
He probably died.
Yeah. Drunk driving accident. So, in bars, how they serve food, Tyler?
Sure.
Some of that food is salad.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys have a killer Caesar salad.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well,
thank you.
Why are you saying thank you? You didn't make it.
My last name is we'll bleep that. And on some salads, Tyler, that aren't Caesars, generally speaking, they have dressings. I guess Caesar have dressings, but I'm doing a thing. Hold on. You're going to love this. On some of those salads with dressings, there is olive and vinegar, Tyler.
Sure.
I try to be very careful saying those words. I don't like to say that.
Yeah.
So, you know how, I don't know why I did this. What a waste of time.
Yeah.
So,
got
you know
the
how
olive and vin. I got you.
Oil and vinegar. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
They come in that little carrier, right? So, I accidentally, as I was like, picking up plates or whatever, I knocked one of those things over with my elbow. It happens, but the problem is they're made out of glass. When you drop something that's breakable, that's made out of glass, or you're worried about it, what is your instinctual reaction if you drop a little thing that's fragile?
I try to put my foot out and catch it with my foot.
Try to put your foot out.
Yeah.
And catch it with your foot.
Like I'm playing hacky sack.
It's primal.
Yeah.
Have you ever done it with something really heavy and you're like hurt your foot? And you're like,
No,
why the hell would I do that?
I'm self-aware enough to not do that. Or try like with a knife or something like that. No. I just back away.
Sure. Or like your food's too hot, so you pop it in your mouth.
That I've done.
So the thing is falling. I instinctually put my foot out. The little spout of vinegar falls out of the little carrier, falls upside down, into my shoe, Tyler. Into my shoe, not unlike a water cooler for a hamster. Balsamic vinegar into my shoe, onto my sock, which then goes into the trunk of my car. Life as bartender is pretty kick-ass, man.
Wait. You put it into your trunk?
Well, I put
You were fully aware that you had vinegar in your shoe, right?
Please, if you could stop saying that, I think we're on the line of being offensive.
You had the vin in your shoe, right?
It was in my shoe. Now, when I say like a water cooler for hamsters, do you get the visual that I'm painting?
Of course, that little spouty thing that this hamsters suck on.
Sure,
Yeah.
and it's going glug, 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 glug. But instead of water going into a beautiful little creature's mouth, it's going into my shoe.
Did you look down in horror as it emptied into your
Yeah.
shoe?
Oh, yeah. And
man.
there was that one split second of, Tyler's going to love this.
It's pretty fun.
Let's go to break.
Those guys.
Two lovers forbidden from one another. A war divides their people, and a mountain divides them apart. Build a path to be together. Yeah, I forget the next couple lines, but then it goes.
You hate.
Secret tunnel, through the mountains. Secret tunnel, yeah.
Those guys you hate.
Red circle. So you went and got some of those.
Let's go.
Let me try-
Oh, I didn't just get them. I need to eat constantly.
let me try one
to
of those
keep my girlish figure. But,
almonds.
So Tyler's now eating a blue diamond honey roasted almond. Only 160 calories
per almond?
per almond. Yeah, you're turning violet. For every 28 nuts.
Oh, there's no way these are healthy.
That's delicious, isn't it?
That's delicious.
It tastes like candy.
They've coated it in some kind of sugar product.
It's
wonderful.
It's delicious, isn't it? If you have time and nobody's watching you, it's fun to try to peel that off with your teeth. You know what I mean? But if anybody's watching, you look kind of like a crazy person.
Sure.
So just be aware of that.
Sure.
All right, Tyler, I'm going to tell you this really quickly. And then, well, not really quickly, but I am going to tell you probably my favorite fan theory that I've ever heard. Have you ever heard of the Tommy Westfall theory?
No.
Okay. I got this mostly from a Mental Floss article. So thank you very much, Mental Floss.
Oh, they're great.
Have you ever heard of the TV program St. Elsewhere?
No.
Let me get the nut out of my mouth. St. Elsewhere was an hour-long hospital drama that earned 13 Academy Awards and lasted 6 seasons.
And what was the timeline roughly for this show? When did it run?
It ran for 6 years. Its series finale ran on May 25th, 1988. So it ostensibly came out the year that you were, a couple months before you were born.
2 months before I
Right.
was born.
Now, none of that is interesting relative to where you and I are. Why would I need to know about a show that ended 2 months before I was born?
I got to talk about when I was born. That's
How about
cool.
that? That's
Yeah.
always good. Happy birthday, by the way. Here's what's interesting about it. In the series finale, in the very last scene of the show, the director, they say the hardest thing to do, like with The Sopranos, with Seinfeld, these famous, incredibly popular shows, in the finale, it's so hard to wrap something like that up.
Oh, yeah.
Why is that?
Well, it's just the expectation, I would say. It gets so high, especially when it comes to these huge shows. It can be so very hit or miss. Like you could point to the ones like Breaking Bad that perfected it, and then shows like you said where they fall flat on their face.
Was Breaking Bad universally loved?
The ending? Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, here's what they did with this one. Tell me what you think. The very last scene is Tommy Westfall, the guy who this fan theory is based on, who is the son of the medical director at St. Elsewhere. So the main character of the show is Tommy Westfall's father. Now, Inside, he is standing there at the very end of the show, and he is staring into a snow globe, okay? Inside the snow globe is a little miniature version of St. Elsewhere, of the hospital that the show takes place in.
Okay.
And then it pans out his father, who was the medical director at this hospital, is wearing a construction worker's uniform, thereby implying that the show never took place. It's all happening inside of Tommy Westfall's mind, who is autistic.
Well, that's fucking dark.
The show never took place.
Yeah.
It was all this kid staring into a snow globe, pretending that his father was more important than he actually was, if you buy into the social norms of what occupations mean about you.
Well, back then they definitely did, and that's fucking stupid. How do you end a show like that?
And that was...
Basically what you're saying is the 6 years that I have devoted to this show never mattered. I mean, what is this, Game of Thrones? That's some bullshit.
Wow.
I had to slip that in there.
Not unlike my Neosporin. That was topical, Tyler.
Or the show Lost.
Now-
or the show Lost is very much like that show where you get to the end and you're like, oh, I guess they were dead the whole time.
What?
and it's like, so you're telling me all the time I put in, none of it mattered.
That I'm so glad that
Great.
you said that, because that is actually where I wanted to end up with this. If you're watching this show, you love St. Elsewhere. I know you love St. Elsewhere, Tyler.
favorite
You can stop
show.
pretending.
My favorite show.
Now you find out that in this fictional thing that you know is fictional, if it's fictional in the fiction, does that ruin the show for you?
It kind of does. Like you've really pinned me into a corner here, because I'm very much the type of person that, like, you ever see a movie and you get to the very end and it's like, man, I enjoyed that movie until the very last part. I think everybody's been through that. And my argument is, if you enjoyed the first 120 minutes, then you enjoyed those minutes.
Yeah.
The last part doesn't take away from it. But if you're telling me that everything I just saw does not matter.
Why is that guy holding a sign that says, you idiot?
It ruins the emotional connection with all of those characters. It was all predicated on a lie.
I love this. This is perfect. We could not have scripted this better, because here, all of that is interesting. Whatever.
Well, you handed me the script.
A hospital. Read it. A hospital drama ends.
Yeah.
Kid has autism. Sorry about that. Whatever. Here is where it gets interesting.
There's more.
The doctors from St. Elsewhere had visited the bar on Cheers. The doctors on St. Elsewhere did a little,
They were extras on Cheers?
No, like a network crossover where the doctors from St. Elsewhere showed up on Cheers.
And that's a real thing.
That's a real thing.
Okay.
Thereby implying that Cheers doesn't exist.
Oh, no!
Cheers is in the universe, is in the boy with autism's mind inside of the snow globe, but his dad is a dirty, smelly construction worker.
Okay, dirty, smelly was a
you're
little much.
Okay, that was an editorial.
Dirty
Forget about
maybe,
that.
but smelly a little rough. Norm,
Norm, more like unnorm. Sam Malone doesn't exist.
Oh, no.
Autistic or whatever,
That just looked like a bar I really wanted to go to.
Now, here's the thing about that.
Everybody knew my name.
That's the deal. What character on there was a therapist who then moved to Seattle to become a radio personality?
Who?
Frasier, Tyler. Frasier doesn't exist. He exists in the mind of some autistic boy somewhere else.
Wow, this is the most depressing rewrite of Inception I've ever
And
heard
by
in
the
my
way,
entire
Tyler
life.
Frasier at one point went to visit the airplane hangar in a show called Wings. Wings doesn't exist. Autism or whatever. There is
Autism's a superpower. Holy shit.
Tyler, you ever heard of Wings? Autism.
Wow.
Now there is a guy that if I showed you a picture of him, you would know him. He's a character named John Munch, who Dad actually loved growing up. That he was a detective from a show called Homicide. Now, in this article, they say he mingled with the doctors from St. Elsewhere. Now, I don't know if that means he was on the show or they were on a different show together, but they say they mingled.
They interacted.
Here's the thing with John Munch, which was the name of the character. He played that character more than anybody else has. He played that character on 12 different shows, from X-Files to Arrested Development to Sesame Street.
Oh, no.
Thereby meaning, you're not going to believe this, Cookie Monster doesn't exist, Tyler.
If Sesame Street isn't real, then is the world real?
I don't know.
Is reality real?
Are birds even big? I don't know, Tyler.
Pretty big.
This article was written in 2017. At that point, 441 shows can be tied to St. Elsewhere, from I Love Lucy to The Flash. None of them exist. And my question is, first of all, best fan theory of all time.
It's pretty good.
And number two, does it matter? Does it matter if your fiction is fiction in the fictional universe.
Well, first of all, this is like TV's equivalent of the snap from Avengers, or Thanos just like wiped out half of all shows.
Just tell
ever.
me Spider-Man is okay.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What?
He's fine. He's fine.
Andrew Garfield.
He webbed right on out of there. The real Spider-Man. I don't think it affects the shows where they played a guest appearance. That doesn't.
If I Love Lucy didn't eat those chocolates, what are we doing?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it doesn't matter when it's a crossover, but in your own show, people dedicated 6 years of their life to that show. And then at the very end, the writers were just like, haha, fuck you.
I like that they ended with something interesting. I like that it sparks this kind. Otherwise, would we ever talk about St. Elsewhere again?
I think we're the first ones to do it in a very long time.
I dare you to Google Tommy Westfall conspiracy theory.
Okay.
Your eyebrows will be singed
Oh, then I don't want to do that.
by the graphs and the diagrams that are there by nerds who've got a lot of time on their hand. And we love you, by the way. That sounded denigrating. We love you.
Yeah.
That is the Tommy Westfall theory.
My eyebrows are my best feature.
That's true.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not saying much. They look like ferrets.
Look like ferrets. Yeah. Yeah.
Say ferrets. Tyler, give me something that... Yo, wait. I got it.
You got it?
I got
it. All right. You go ahead and do it.
Don't kill.
But when you do... Tyler, what is don't kill, but when you do? That sounds weird.
Well, we don't want you to kill. We know you're not going to kill. You're a moral person.
Sure.
You'll never follow through with those thoughts in your head.
Urges.
But when you do...
Ah, shit.
When you do, because even though we know you're not going to kill that person, you're gonna.
Yeah.
So when you do...
You can only take so much.
I know, before you snap.
Yep.
We like to give you tips about how to, get away with it.
I don't want to say cover it up.
Yeah, but cover it up.
Cover it up
Yeah.
completely.
We need your subscription.
Sure, if you're in jail, you can't subscribe to our show. What'd you say?
I was like, did nobody hear that?
Can we play that back?
Oh my goodness. We
hear
need your
ju-
subscription.
It's just Papa's back on the sauce.
Boy, oh boy.
All right, Tyler.
That was something.
When I kill somebody, give me a tip on how to get away with it.
Ryan, for session 169, the very rare Tyler's don't kill, but when you do, don't take out a life insurance policy on the person you're about to murder right before you commit the murder.
That happens so often.
So often.
Yeah, and then they're like, oh, they're the ones who did it.
What was that voice you gave them?
I'm a murderer and didn't think it through. And I'll tell you, I got my hands on my hips and I'm very disappointed in the police.
Oh boy, here I go murdering again.
Well,
Well, it's alleged that Utah mom Corey Richens poisoned her husband back in March of last year.
women poison.
It's very true. He was found unresponsive in
All
the
of them.
bedroom of his home. Not all of them.
Forgive me.
And when an autopsy was done on him, it was found that he had 5 times the lethal limit of fentanyl in his system, which she apparently gave to him in a Moscow mule she made for him to celebrate a business deal. Yes.
That's more like a Montana mule,
Yes.
right? The fentanyl. It's a middle America. Yeah. They have meth. Yeah, they got problems with drugs.
It's funnier when you explain it.
Sure. Fentanyl.
Show name? This woman had apparently obtained and spent a $250,000 home equity line of credit without his knowledge, had withdrawn $100,000 from his bank accounts, and spent more than $30,000 on his credit cards.
Love is blind, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? What you're saying right there, very often when people kill who wouldn't normally be killers, it's when they're backed into a corner and they've done all this white collar shit and it's about to come to a head. I'll kill you, and then nobody will ask me questions anymore.
For sure.
You're good.
And right before he died, it was actually found, it was discovered that she took out a $2 million life insurance policy on him without his knowledge. And ladies and gentlemen,
What's suspicious about that?
you might as well fire a flare into the sky to signal you're about to murder.
Sure.
The kicker, a year after his death, she published a kid's book about grief titled Are You With Me? It's like a white female OJ. If I had done it.
I like that.
And
I
I
like what
did.
this, yeah. If I had done it, it would be exactly the same. 'Cause I don't do that shit. It's like leaving plastic on the floor of your apartment. It just looks bad. You know what I mean?
Dexter, are you in here?
You got to make that decision. And I think I'm reading you properly. You got to make the decision to kill It's all about patience.
Yeah.
It's all to the spoils go the patient in the murder game.
Get them in on the life insurance policy.
Sure.
Hey, baby, we're trying to be safe. You know, you never know what can happen in this crazy world.
It's just so hard not to murder.
Yeah.
I'm in there. I got a 4-year plan, and then all of a sudden we're in month 3, and I'm like, I'm gonna fucking do it.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, be like, and I can't believe I'm saying this. Be like BTK.
Sure.
You gotta really.
I say that all the time.
You gotta really love the patience and the waiting
It's the
game.
art. It's the art. And if you're getting antsy, like BTK, tie yourself up and take pictures of you in a grave. All right?
That's how I solve my problems.
Sure. Yoga or that. It's one of those two.
Yeah, so that is don't kill, but when you do.
Great job, Tyler.
Yeah.
Not only did you do it, you had a little story there to back it up.
Yeah.
Very well.
He had actually switched.
Well done.
His will. Because there was like a part where he knew it was coming.
Absolutely.
And so he switched his will and moved all of his assets to his sister, his business, his everything. And that is another sign for detectives to be like, that's suspicious.
Do you know how many people go in there and they're like, oh yeah, my hair's falling out in clumps. And the doctors are like, your husband's poisoning you.
Yeah.
No, Greg.
Yeah.
Greg is cool as shit. Talk to him. You will know that he is holding antifreeze right now. That is true. Love it, Tyler.
And he put plastic up all over our house.
Sure.
What's the deal?
Sure. We're celebrating our anniversary with another life insurance policy. Let's do Week in Review. Tyler, last week, and what Week in Review is Tyler and I say a bunch of dumb shit. You've heard it. You've been listening. Yeah. So we go back, we do our homework, we see how bad it was, and we call it Week in Review. Tyler, last week, I said the lead singer from Bad Religion.
It's one of mine too.
Was a college professor. Mm-hmm. Was I right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
You were?
Go. Tell me what you got.
Yeah. Not only did he become a professor, he did it alongside his music career.
Greg Graffin is the gentleman's name.
Yes.
Yep. I promise.
He received a degree in zoology from Cornell University.
How about that?
And has taught life science courses at UCLA,
Wow.
Cornell, and others.
Weird flex, punk rocker. Obtained his PhD. Also, evolutionary biologist. This guy's got that on his business card. I can't fucking say it.
It takes up a lot of space.
Ah, jeez.
You need very small font. Last week, I asked, was the Unabomber trying to make a smiley face on the map with his explosions? Was he?
Oh, hell no.
No, Ryan, sadly, I was mistaken. I was thinking about the wrong bomber.
Wasted opportunity. David Kaczynski? Is that David
I don't.
Kaczynski.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, I think so.
Or is that the Oklahoma bomber? I forget.
That's Timothy McVeigh.
Oh, you're right. Luke Helder is who I was thinking of. He was arrested in 2002 for planting pipe bombs in people's mailboxes, and his plan was to draw a smiley face across the United States with them. He is still incarcerated in a federal medical facility after he was found to be unfit to stand trial all the way back in 2003.
I told you that emojis were going to be the death of us, Tyler, and you didn't listen.
So it's not the bombs. It's the emoji.
Where do you think you got the idea? There was no smiley faces before emojis. Do I have that right?
There was no smiley faces before bombs.
I've seen.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
The more you know. Tyler, last week, I flippantly asked the question, how much would it cost to end world hunger?
God damn it!
I think we did the same one.
Jesus!
Yeah. He's going to throw some cash in on
This
this.
never used to happen, and now it happens constantly.
Did Tyler and I look up the same shit?
Oh, yeah.
So tell me, this is interesting, though. Let's see what you got. What did you get?
Well, we asked, can 6 billion solve world hunger?
Where'd we get that number from?
I have no idea.
I think I heard that somewhere.
According to the United Nations World Food Program, if you want to listen to them, in order to solve world hunger by 2030, it would cost $265 billion, which is still doable, by the way.
Here's what I got. I'm pretty sure that's just what our debt is in Florida. Here's what I got. Donor governments need to invest around $37 billion every year until 2030. I wonder if those numbers add up.
Yeah, it's a lot more than $6 billion, but 265. That is only a quarter of the worth of Apple as a company.
Can Bezos do it? Yes or no?
Yes. Will he? Absolutely not.
Oh, hell no.
That's it. We looked up all the same shit.
Tyler, last.
We got to say more wrong stuff.
Don't you worry, I got you covered. Tyler, last week I just flatly asked, what does the word forensic mean? Did I find out?
Oh, yeah.
Do you want to venture a guess? Because now looking back on it, it's like, yeah, obviously I know that, but I didn't know it at the time.
No, especially if it's going to be that simple of an answer, I'd prefer to skip it and not look like an idiot.
So the actual definition is relating or denoting the application of scientific methods and techniques to the investigation of time. So it's, to the investigation of crime. So it's the science and
gotcha.
the techniques that are used to prove crimes or solve crimes.
It goes from gathering DNA and running it all the way to calligraphy testing, all the way to saliva and all that other
exactly
good stuff.
right.
Okay, that would be DNA, but you get what I mean.
Anything that is scientific or a method that has been brought up over time and refined through the scientific method
very interesting.
would be considered forensics. What made me think about it is
Poop. You can look into poop.
I'm the scat man. What made me think about it is there's a computer forensic technologist, and I always thought of forensics as being like human tissue and all that stuff. So they are using computers to solve crimes.
Very cool. Yeah, but
Bury
knock it
me
off.
with my browser history.
Yeah. If it's a Haitian, we need you to knock that shit off.
If it's a
Yeah. If there's a
I
Haitian,
forgot that was our army. I thought you were just talking about Haitians, and I'm like, Tyler,
they must be protected.
We're gonna bleep that because I don't know. And finally, Tyler, if I remember correctly, last week and many other weeks, you have just flatly agreed with the Unabomber. Is that correct?
No, no, it is not Hulk Hogan.
You heard the Macho Man Randy Savage, Tyler.
Oh, is that Randy Savage?
Oh, yeah.
That makes total sense.
Now,
man, I've just been wrong all show today.
I love it. I love it. We got so much to work with for next show.
Jeez.
So, Tyler, the actual question was, the Unabomber, his manifesto, was he right? Obviously, he wasn't right about sending bombs. No.
Okay, go on.
No.
It seems like you're the one arguing on behalf of him.
No. Was he right about sending bombs?
Oh, hell no.
But was he right about what was written in his manifesto? Now, obviously, he'd gone a little crazy. And to be honest, some people say that his motives weren't even what his manifesto was about. He just kind of lost it a little bit.
Okay.
But I'll read what the internet says. The manifesto contends that the Industrial Revolution, which is where we started using machines, began a harmful process of natural destruction brought about by technology while forcing humans to adapt to machinery, creating a socio-political order that suppresses human freedom and potential.
That's actually true.
Oh, yeah.
I told you the Unabomber was smart. No, I didn't say that. But what he's saying is, he didn't go about it the right way, but what he's saying could be true.
Yeah.
Could be true. It's worth keeping an eye on.
I would agree with that point, with that viewpoint. I sure as hell don't agree with sending bombs to people.
Thank you for making that clear.
You can't be doing that.
As we stand on the precipice of AI and what all of that means.
Do you think they're going to send bombs? Is AI going to send bombs to our houses?
Can you put a bomb in an email? I don't know. My computer. But it's just super interesting. Again, don't bomb. But when you do, don't kill people. But it's an interesting thing to kind of process. Some of these crazy ass people have good points.
Yeah, it is. You can have a good point and go about it in the wrong way, very much like he did. Whereas you could also believe in
or Ben Shapiro.
These same. Is he the Unabomber? Or you could have these thoughts of wanting to better humankind and seeing where our faults lay, and turn out to be like, what's her name? Malala Yousafzai. I'm pretty sure I butchered that.
Oh, the woman who was shot in the face?
The Middle Eastern woman who was shot in the face, but wanted to teach younger women in the face of terrorism.
Or Elizabeth Smart, that lady who developed that blood technology.
That was Elizabeth Holmes.
Shit! Shit!
Yeah. And then had 2 kids and changed her appearance just to try to get out of prison sentence, which did not work.
Genius, though. Genius. Female Steve Jobs.
And I'm very confident to say this, total sociopath.
Oh, for sure.
Total and complete sociopath.
Well, in the people who don't know, we're talking about this woman who developed this technology that never exists. We can review.
Yeah, no, it's very interesting.
Fun little story.
For sure.
And she rode that thing to the top all while knowing that it was complete bullshit. She said she had technology that a drop of blood could do 1,000 different things, which would be very useful in this world. It was never true.
Yeah, and I don't know very much about it. When you run blood tests, you have to specifically look for things. She said her device, you just put the drop of blood in, and it'll tell you everything.
Everything. And if that were to be true, it would be like a medical panacea.
It would revolutionize.
And billions of dollars were pumped into it. CVS took her on. They started putting in orders. Oh, by the way, the technology never existed.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's it for me, Tyler.
Yeah.
This show doesn't exist. We are just in the minds of an autistic boy.
Oh.
Tell me I'm wrong.
Make this more humorous, please.
Yeah, you've got a weird perversion with... I'd rather not say.
Yeah.
Let's wrap this up.
Racist Disney cartoons. Call back.
You got new ones? Do those exist? All right. Let's wrap it up because I'm losing it, Tyler.
Yeah.
Great job today.
Thank
Good
you.
job.
Thank you.
I think we thawed you out. I think hopefully you're leaving this feeling a little bit better than you started.
Sure, I'm going to go eat something.
What do you got? What, you got cocaine?
That was dark for me.
Are you really going to go eat something?
No. I'm still full from the terrible lunch I had today. Yeah,
Good on you.
Yeah. So go to THOSEGUYSYOUHATE.com and click on the subscriptions and
Oh, yeah.
yeah, and support us and please don't take into account that I called that Hulk Hogan and not Macho Man Randy Savage.
You were young at that time.
Yeah.
Just imagine him, peddling a Slim Jim. I think it'll all come back.
It's true.
Yeah.
So please support us. We need it. We live off of it. And
I'm putting my intention out right now. Well, you know what? I'll save it. I need something to say at the end of the show. This will be perfect.
All right, perfect. So ThoseGuysYouHate.com and click the buttons.
Smash them buttons.
Click the buttons.
Mushroom stamp everything on there. Tyler, what is the moral of the story?
I would say the moral of the story is no matter how difficult it gets, and the moral story this week is very much directed towards me, no matter how difficult it gets, very true, don't be hard on yourself. Just because you're going through a hard time does not mean you have to be hard on yourself. And know that this is a step-by-step process. And even though at times in our lives, like I am going through right now, it may seem like we've taken a step back. Nope, that's not how it works. This is just an obstacle we have to get over to make ourselves more resilient and happier.
And you don't just treat yourself with kindness when you do everything perfectly.
Yeah.
Treat yourself with kindness when you're fucking up too, because that's a big part of life.
Yeah, well, what I do is just imagine you're talking to anybody else.
Sure.
Literally anybody else. If you saw somebody going through, like your best friend, going through the same thing that you yourself are going through, would you walk over and be like, you fat piece of shit?
You're fucking doing it again.
The fuck is your problem?
We talked about this.
You know what? I can't even look
Fuck
at you.
you, dude.
Yeah, and that's it. And I find myself talking to myself like that and then realize I would never say anything like this to another person. No. As a matter of fact, I would be horrified if I said these things to somebody else.
And nor do you deserve it.
No,
you don't.
So yeah, I guess it just comes down to be kind to yourself.
All right, Tyler, spin that wheel. Just kidding.
Ryan, what's the moral of the
Gay
story?
It up. I'm setting two intentions right now. I'm doing it for realsies. This is the deal.
It's for realsies.
Number one, I'm setting the intention of us getting back out there again. I don't know what social media and what in lies and what's going to happen, but I'm going to put some effort in. I want to push this thing out. I think that we do, even today, for as trauma dumpy as we've been. I think we're saying some really positive stuff. I think that we're saying things that people think about a lot. I think that we have some insight that maybe not everybody at our age has. And hopefully we made it funny. And hopefully we don't just exist in an autistic boy's mind. My second intention that I'm setting is to stop taking things so personally. I run everything through the prism of, how could this happen to me?
Yeah.
Why did they do this to me? And the fact of the matter is, it very rarely ever has anything to do with me. And so I've really set that up in my mind to filter it that way.
Not that it makes it okay, but I think that is wildly common because I do it all the time too.
But I don't want to do that anymore.
Yeah.
I want to be... I want to suffer from a case of pronoia where the universe is...
Benefit from a case of pronoia.
There's a conspiracy of the universe to make my life better. And who's to say that that isn't true? So this week, I am going to put those things up, and I'm challenging you to do the same. We're those guys you hate.
Be kind, or we'll kill you.
Autistic.
What?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Yeah. Red circle.
Red. Hi, Tyler. How are you, buddy?
I'm okay. How you doing?
What's going on? Your energy? Sensing your energy's off a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I'm not off. I'm just down.
Oh, I'm sorry. That sucks. I responded in like a sarcastic way. I didn't mean it. I was like, oh.
It's all right. I figured.
Yeah. I'm sorry you're not feeling well. Let's see if I could pick you up.
We'll see. Usually my energy gets better as the episodes go.
No, I mean, let's see if I can pick you up. I want to.
I'm heavy.
Let's go belly to belly.
No.
Let's do that thing where you put your legs out. I can already see you're cracking here, man. This is good. This is good. Well, let's do a little brotherly love.
Well, just because I'm thinking about how ridiculous that would be.
I think I could do it, Tyler.
It would just be so dumb.
I've got the thighs of a taut Amish woman. Now,
They work hard. No, you do not.
That's what I mean.
They work hard. No,
I can see I'm raising a barn over there as we talk more and more. Wow. That's where we're starting?
pitching a tent joke immediately out of the gate. How is that possible?
It is an upgrade on it. Yes.
Upgrade?
Yes. It is a joke about your dick. You're right. It's very early in the procession for that, but.
Go on.
But. Mm-hmm. It wasn't a tent. It was a barn. I mean, that's a.
I mean, it's tomato.
Great. Tyler, here's the deal. And hopefully this won't be an issue. And you talk about this as I stand up to go shut all these doors over here. Mm-hmm. You're down a little bit. I have had a week of mania. I've had a week of mania, brother. And that is not made up for the show.
It's the other side of the coin.
I've been flying way too high. Hold on. Tell me your thoughts on mania, Tyler.
It's the opposite side of what I'm talking about. You have the really low points, or you have the really, really high points. Yeah, that's a tough situation to be in, because while I am down, I am like lethargic and don't have that much energy to do something. But what you're describing is exhausting.
I feel like I can't breathe for about a week and a half. And the thing is, I think that a lot of people, when they're going through their self-help journey, what do we call it to make it sound like it's worth doing? Self-help rendezvous.
No, just journey is
sure,
fine.
All right, that's fine.
A bit douchey, but rendezvous doesn't really make any sense.
It sounds French. You know what I mean? So nonetheless, as people are doing it, I think that especially when you start, you think, I want to be high all the time. In high, of course, I mean in personality and in energy and all that stuff.
Nope. I want to be under the influence of something all the time. I don't want to know what's going on anymore.
I got a guy that you can talk to. He lives right outside of the red light district. Mm-hmm. But here's the thing. That can be, it could be a breakneck speed. I'm telling you, this week, I've really had to pay attention to, like, bring it down here, man. You're exhausting yourself.
Sure.
So I'm there this week. So please don't let me pick you up. You drag me down, Tyler. Let's use this show for you to drag me down.
Deal.
Okay, good.
You piece of garbage.
Thank you. Thank you. And I need you to use that wisdom that you have right there on this next question. Cold open. Wait, what do we call this?
Pre-game.
That's the one.
Mm-hmm. This is the pre-game, post-game.
See, I told you I'm too high, Tyler, this whole week.
Mm-hmm.
I need you to use this wisdom as we warm up here, get ready for the show. I'm finally seeing patterns in my work life, in my relationship lives. I'm seeing, in some weird way, I've kind of stepped back and see like, oh, look, this is, even as I change, this is happening over and over again. Now that I have this introspection, how do I fix myself, Tyler? Please. What I have this information, not unlike tracking the calories on my watch. I have all this info. Mm-hmm. The fuck do I do with it?
And what is it exactly that you're trying to fix?
I don't want to be a broken little boy anymore. I would like to be a strong, a big broken man. Mm. You know what I mean? Burly.
Well,
shave with an axe.
Yeah, that sounds dangerous. I think acknowledging it and where you are is on the step 2 recovery. So you're on that trek and you're on your way, and this is one of the tools that you're going to use in order to get over those things.
Okay.
And heal past those things.
And truly, as you change, and I'm sure that you can see, we live in the same house, with my relationships and even how I work at the job that you and I don't have, there's a lot of it that leaves a lot to be desired, and I've been doing better and doing better. With that being said, you can step back and be like, even while I'm changing stuff, I keep falling back into these same pitfalls. What? Not just how do I fix that? Why is that?
Survival.
Why do I want this?
It's not that you want it. It's survival. It's what your brain is automatically going back to in order to keep you alive. As strange as that may sound. Remember,
I'm alive, Tyler. I'm very much alive.
The brain will always revert back to what it knows, even if that thing that it knows is incredibly detrimental to ourselves.
Well, can I just do a little, I don't know, a mild trauma dump, shameful admission, somewhere in between?
I mean, that's literally what this show is for.
I love it, man.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I hope some therapist hears this somewhere along the way and just reaches out to us with a graph or something that's easily digestible so we could understand what's going on here.
Or just forward the suicide hotline.
Sure.
You know.
Hey, Tyler, what's up? It's Tom again, just checking on you.
You alive, bro?
Asanka, you dead, man.
Yeah, man.
My deal is, and I don't know if I should be embarrassed to say this or not, I've noticed in my relationships, I find myself in this pattern of finding a relationship, enjoying it in an extreme fashion, breaking it in some way, and then spending the rest of the time trying to convince that person who has already been hurt by me that I'm not a piece of shit. Fix that real quick because we got to do the show.
Yeah. Let's see. We're only 6 minutes in. This will take about...
Because it's really causing me some distress, Tyler.
Yeah, this will only take about 5 years, so I think we got time.
5 years starting when?
Right now.
Do I get time for,
Go to the bathroom now.
Time
all right?
served? Tyler, I am going to the bathroom. So it's just interesting as my self-esteem grows, as my awareness grows, I see myself doing different versions of the same old thing. There was no cheating involved. There wasn't any of those big explosions, but still in lesser ways, maybe in better ways. Maybe I'm making better mistakes now, but I'm still living out that same kind of fantasy.
Sure. It's less harmful, I would say. Not better, not worse, just less harmful.
The caustic level, the toxicity is draining, and I miss it, if I could be frank.
Well, you're a cute guy. I'm sure you could get into another toxic relationship
Thank
anytime you want.
Tyler,
Yeah.
That was the nicest thing that you've ever said to me.
You got it, buddy.
Do you have anything for other than trying to fix my deeply gashed psyche?
And I mean it legitimately. Have you spoken to a therapist recently? When's the last time you have spoken to a therapist?
I don't know why you would ever do this in front of all these people.
Yeah,
I have not been to a therapist in a long time, and I would love to. I'm pro therapist. I think the world would be better if we all had a therapist.
I don't care where you are mental health wise. You could be quote unquote perfect. I think everybody can benefit from speaking to a therapist.
100. I think that.
So when's the last time you talked to a therapist? Is that how many days ago it was? Or
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's in months. I haven't been to a therapist in a very long time.
Oh, that would help out a lot.
My son was born, and then all of a sudden, I hadn't cried in 20 years, and all of a sudden, I would see a commercial on TV, and I would just start weeping unconsolably. And I was like, I should probably go talk to someone. But then that guy, I won't say his name, but he started bringing me presents and I think trying to bang me.
Well,
Terrible kisser.
Yeah, I would say that
Garrett was pissed.
therapist. Well, why'd you tell him? Therapist. You went out on that
He-
camping trip.
He
and
wanted me to be honest.
Yeah.
He told me to be honest. It blew up in my lap.
He mentions an open relationship one time. And you take him up on it, and then that's it. It's over.
I didn't think he was going to open that.
It was funny, but also really, really tragic. Really, really tragic what you just did.
We don't talk about repressed memories on this show. That's a boundary.
And not to the degree that you went through, because that is immoral and unprofessional.
What are you talking about?
Your therapist who would bring you presents. That is
Weird.
That is
It was strange.
Forget weird. That is immoral
Yeah.
to do that to somebody when you are in that kind of relationship where they are your therapist and you are the patient. But I would say finding a therapist in a generic sense is very much like finding your favorite ice cream flavor. Try as many as you can until you find one that just really connects with you.
Well, and kind of has the same thought process that I guess maybe you're going for. Like if you're...
It's chemistry. You just got to find somebody with chemistry so that when they talk, they'll never be your friend because that's not the relationship you have. But when you speak, you get that kind of same feeling where you're talking to somebody that you trust and that understands you.
Yeah, and you care about them and you care about what they think.
For sure.
Why is therapy so expensive? The fuck?
Well, I think the question should be asked, why is everything so expensive?
Yeah.
Everything has
you're
gone
right.
up in price.
I used to go to a therapist. Oh, this was the last time I was at a therapist. There was this woman who would take cash. She would take whatever you would give her.
Here's
know
a
what
carton
I mean?
of eggs.
Yes.
How much does this buy me?
But I
10 minutes.
I went to her and I would give her money and I would do. But here was my issue. Everything ended up with her talking about herself and her spiritual journey and that kind of stuff. And there was one time that she's like, I bet you're pretty upset that I'm talking about myself right now. And I was like, oh, how did she know?
Yeah, that's a good.
Because I was.
That's actually a good tactic to use in therapy. It's used from time to time.
If you're a narcissist?
No, that's actually. I mean, she could have been. I don't know.
Because I'm like, shut up, lady. How can I talk about me? If you keep talking about you, we'll never get to know what the problem is if I can't talk about me all the time.
In all fairness, there is no other aspect of life where that would be appropriate.
I'll kill you, lady.
No, not that.
Oh.
But in that situation, that is totally appropriate. Like, dude, I am here paying you money specifically to talk about me.
Yes.
How can I talk about me if you were talking about you?
Well, and she's like, and I'm accepting your money to talk about me.
Yeah.
What do you want to do here, buddy?
Yeah.
A podcast?
Absolutely.
Let's do it.
I've heard.
No, please. I was trying to do a fun little thing, but I am interested in what you had to say.
I was just going to say I've heard that tactic used before, where it's like if a therapist thinks that the patient doesn't speak up for themselves, I've heard of stories of them going for like 5-10 minutes of just talking about themselves and watching the person get more and more frustrated, but unable to
but
say
she did
anything.
it every time, though.
Yeah, that's a problem.
She did it every single time.
That's a problem.
And I don't know, man. It was all good. Do you think the therapy occupation calls to narcissists?
I think that it absolutely.
We can review.
I think it absolutely does. I think it would be narcissists would be very hard pressed to make it through therapy training.
Maybe just a little touch. Maybe a little dabble, do you?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You go and you take the psychology 101 and then you're such a narcissist. You're like, not for me.
Yeah,
I have to
like,
listen to other people talk. Fuck that.
These guys don't get it.